Crystal.
We're live.
Yay!
I'm starting to tell you about how we're live. And today we are bringing you money mindset, and all the things around it.
You know what we should have had playing tonight when we started? Since we started last week with a song, we could have done money, 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 money.
You know what, Sarah? That's just as good.
Right? Sore throat mouth. I got it.
Actually, I love that song. Whenever I want to manifest money, I have that one in the back reeling. Yeah, I'm like singing it to myself.
So there's so many things that we can talk about with money. Tonight was specifically on mindset around money and childhood beliefs around money that were started early on. So that's kind of the specific money topic that we're covering tonight.
Yeah, so let's start with the basics. Like, what does money mean to each of you?
Are we pinning that? Or are we starting with that?
Yeah.
Oh, you found your thing. We can start with that. You're right. Cool. I'll go first on that one then. So for us growing up, I was raised with a single mom with 5 kids. So money was one of those things that were scarce to us, or that was the message that we were taught growing up, is it's paycheck to paycheck. Not even paycheck to paycheck, because government helped cover some of our costs because we didn't have enough in just a paycheck to cover it. And we actually lived really untraditionally too. So I lived with my aunt and my uncle and my mom, so that between all 3 paychecks, they could cover the rent and the utilities. And I live in a small town, so our rent or mortgage, when we finally got to move up to that level, was like, couldn't be more than $400 a month for rent. And then utilities, gas, water, electric, and everything, probably around $150 to $200 at the highest. So you're looking at $600 a month for rent and utilities. And they still needed to split that bill, because with food, we had food stamps, medical was covered by Medicaid, and then gas money and just things we needed for school and clothes and such. But that was still $600 a month was too much for bill money for just my mom with 5 kids.
3 adults?
3 adults, yes, splitting the cost of that. It wasn't until we never talked about money in my household, which is also, I think that's a big no-no. That is such a big myth that a lot of people still carry with them today, is don't talk to your kids about money. That's a private matter. I talk to my kids about money all the time now. They know what I make. They know pretty much what my bills are. It's not a secret. But growing up, it was. I didn't know what my mom made until my senior year, when I had to apply for a Pell Grant to try to get funding to go to college. And her income was like $11,000 something. And I was like, oh, she doesn't even make $1,000 a month. Like, that seems like low. Or no, it was like, I'm sorry, it was 9, because I was like, she doesn't make $10,000 for the whole year. It was like 9,000 something was her income. And I was like, I know they talk about our teachers being poor and they only make 23 to 27,000, but my mom doesn't even make 10. I was like, holy crap, we're really poor. That was like my first like, holy crap around that. But it's just funny, I think, because if you're not talking about money with your kids, then all you're getting is messages from other people that gets interpreted. And it's those little sayings. And we have a lot of those in the South too, which I don't think it's just the South, but money doesn't grow on trees, or that lifestyle isn't made for us. You got to know people in order to get somewhere in life. And we don't know those kind of people, and those things don't happen to us. So we heard that a lot. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That sort of stuff. We have all those kind of little.
What was the last one you just said?
Yeah, what was the last one?
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You've never heard that?
Wait, no. All work, no play. And then what are you saying?
Makes Jack a dull boy.
Makes Jack a dull boy?
And that's a big line from The Shining too.
Oh,
makes Jack
really?
a dull, like dull, dull
Huh?
bull.
Huh.
Interesting.
I can't believe you guys have heard that.
But what does that mean?
I know. I'm like,
So,
Is
it's
it
kind of like
weird? Oh, if he's working
if you're
and
in the
and
grind all the
nothing,
time, yeah, if you're just
so
working,
he's
working,
fucking
working
dull.
to get a paycheck, then that's a dull life and it sucks.
For sure.
For
Okay,
sure.
got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so ours was a very scarce mindset growing up that money doesn't come easily. You have to work hard for it. So that was something that's still a little difficult for me to get past that mindset of you have to work hard for it. Money doesn't just land in your lap. It doesn't grow on trees. There's not a lot of it. And I heard a lot of negative messages about people that did have a lot of money. So the rich are greedy, they're horrible people. There's people doing without when these people are hoarding money and they should be giving it to those less fortunate. Uh,
Mm.
so it was a lot. There's a lot as I got older and started doing a lot of the self work to overcome. And I know for the lifestyle that my parents came from was very Great Depression era. And so I don't think their parents talked to them much about money and they lived very paycheck to paycheck. So it's one of those things you don't know how to teach a different story if you don't know a different story.
Mhm. Mm. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love the Southern twist on it. It makes it so fun. So, how about you, Crystal? What does money mean to you?
Money means love. And I can stop there and that would be like enough, right? But I guess
No, I would
yeah,
have all
to
kinds of
think about it
questions.
too more. I do. What I mean by that is I've recently done a lot of money inner game work and, brought on by all the bullshit stacking, and whatever bullshit. Actually, they were just invitations, but the stacking of like conditioning around it from childhood, which is like where it fully comes from for me, which I think it comes from for a lot of people. Even though we can have conditioning happen throughout our whole life, for me, it definitely came from that space of being a younger person. So I had a lot of stacking and conditioning, and those were invitations for me to really go in and start to cultivate the relationship that I'm having with money, because I was just like, I've been, my entire life knowing that I am abundance incarnate. Like I am the presence of abundance. And it was weird for me when and where there wasn't money available to me. Like I was like, that doesn't fucking make any sense. I don't get it. I'm a vibrational match to everything that I want and desire and need. And a lot of that comes through money, and that should be easy, right? That's the easy part. So it sat in stacked there, in constriction and limiting beliefs. So I've been doing this money game inner work for a long time, but recently my last dive in with it has just revealed to me that it's love. Like it's a blessing, and it's life force like flowing through. And if I want it, all I have to do is get in vibrational alignment with it and take the next action step that I'm hearing in my soul. And it's there. And I want to say probably the last 6 months have been really interesting, because I ended up, after a year of COVID and all this stuff, getting married, like we ended up seeing like our money start to disappear. And it was like, whoa, what's going on? You know, we were fine. We've always had a roof over our head, food to eat, all the things we need.
Yeah.
But it was like fascinating to watch it just start to go away and not have as many options. Like I want to always be able to travel and do whatever I want to do and all the things. But instead of using that restriction or feeling that restriction and like getting frustrated about it, like I stood back and just became curious about it. And that curiosity led me to start to be invited to rediscover my relationship to it, to rediscover what the limiting beliefs were, and use that as the invitation to like return home to it and see what it really was for me. And I've done that work in probably like the last 6 months, and I want to say like for 6 months, and then about 2 or 3 months ago I was like, okay, I get it. And I started just stepping into that trust, which I always know is there, right? I just fucking forgot. I forgot the trust because we forget. It's like, it doesn't even matter. We learn these lessons and we cultivate these principles, but then we fucking forget sometimes. And we need like our friends, our mentors, our coaches, our family to just remind us, to ask us the right question. And then we also need to do the inner game work. So doing the inner game work has been awesome lately. I'm just not worried about it because I know I'm loved and I know I'm supported. And to me, money is love. It's pleasure, love, sex, and God. It's all the same thing. That's where I'm at.
Crystal, I have a question. That was like beautifully said. I have a question because you said you're always, you knew you're always from abundance. It's a message you've just known. So is that something that also was spoken to you from your parents? Is that a message you received often as a kid?
I love your intuition. So, yeah, no, and yeah, right? So I got some messaging when I was really, really, really young that I was super special, like really unique and special. And then I had the experience of my parents splitting and the messaging changed. Like, you're not the center of the world. So I was like the center of the world and I felt it. I was like, oh, everything revolves around how magnificent I am. Like, I really believed that and knew that. And I had people enforcing that message to me.
Right.
And then the split happened. Everybody gets, bamboozled with life. And that messaging wasn't coming through to me. Now the messaging was, you're not special, right? You're not special. And yeah, just everything came down to you're not special.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, no. I think this is very confusing because I know how fucking special I am. You've been telling me my whole entire life, and I know it in my soul. And so, yeah, and that's something that like I want that we all had talked about on our last end of this call. I came into that awareness in doing the life path, the dharmic life path process that I talked to you guys about, where like we go back and we really go into that messaging that we heard and get to know, like, this is my purpose. This is why I'm on the planet. Because not only we didn't hear that messaging by mistake, we heard it, we lived it because our souls were aligned with that experience here on the planet to live it out, is the way I feel. So that's like when we look and see our parents and we look and see these people that cared for us, our caretakers, whether it was parents, grandparents, whatever, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, those people were there to care for us, but also help us cultivate this path of what is our purpose later, right? So like now I'm like, oh, I am abundance. And I mean, I feel like I offer abundance in my essence. That is what I offer. Like when someone's with me, they can feel the power of abundance, right? So it's like that's because it came from that like wiring. But also I believe it's because my soul agreed to come and have that experience while I was here. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic of money, but
Totally on. But yeah.
It's the same thing for me.
We wouldn't be us if we didn't go down multiple paths and then come back.
Totally.
The rabbit holes are
Tessa,
fun.
tell us your experience.
So money to me now is energy. I just think it's an energetic exchange. So whether it's physical money or wealth or riches, whatever it is, I just think it's energy. That's all it comes down to now. Definitely not how I was raised. I think we all come from pretty similar backgrounds. Our parents were okay, but they definitely didn't have extra money or whatever. It's interesting though, because my parents were super, super poor when I was younger. And so, like, you know how you're practically just a part of your parents until you turn around 7, and then your pituitary gland or something develops, and that's when you start to form your own opinions and your own personality, right? Or like you start becoming your own person. And so it's so interesting because my parents were super poor that young portion of my life. But then my dad got a really good job. I was in 7th grade. Yeah. So I was in 7th grade. He got a really good job and worked overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan and Djibouti, which is so funny. Djibouti, Africa.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was like as a young child, I think when you're super young, you don't really notice that you're poor. Like there might be like some things like, oh, I don't have that, but you don't really recognize like, oh, I'm poor until later on. And so I think when that switch normally happens is when my parents started making more money. So my dad was a supervising contractor at the camp. So he was building all the electricity for the military bases. And it was all tax free since he was over there. So for 11 years, he got paid tax free, which is I want to do that. So I think a lot of it changed then. And so it's interesting seeing my siblings' point of view of money and mine. I think we're really different because that different exchange when I was more out of the imprinting part, I guess, if that makes sense. So after doing all the work, like so many things came up, like money is evil. People are greedy that have it, like Sarah said. And I think it was Tony Robbins that said that money is just a magnifier. And I remember that like statement blew my mind. So whether you're good or you're evil, whatever person you are at your essence, that's what money is going to bring. So if you're a bad person, the more money you get, the more bad you're going to do on the earth. If you're a great person and you get more money, then the more great you're going to do in the world. And so I think hearing that phrase really took the fear aspect of money away from me because I'm like, I don't want to grow up and be a big bad person and whatever. And so that one phrase was probably the most radical shift on money I've ever had.
That is a radical phrase.
Yes, it doesn't change you. It just magnifies who you are.
Right. Exactly. So if you're a bad person, then yeah, you're going to do bad with it. So if you're a good person, then yeah, you can spread goodness. And so beyond that, it's a part of your responsibility as a good essence to earn that money to make sure that we are spreading good into the world too.
Right. That's like busting that myth of like money being evil, right? Because if you're someone who's like wanting to contribute, wanting to make a difference, and you're like in this, there's that like myth of like in the world of maybe religion or even some like spirituality, right? Like money is the root of all evil, but actually like in order to bring expansion, right, and goodness to the world, like to be that channel of money flowing through you so that you can contribute in these all the ways of making things more beautiful in the way that you see it.
Yeah, I think that's actually something interesting. I feel like I think it was Tony Robbins too, that talked about like, oh, well, if you want to do good and you want to contribute so much, why aren't you giving all your money away? Why do you have a nice house? Why do you have nice things? And so I think that's like a really popular belief that people have as well. That's my assumption. I don't really know. That if you have a lot and you're a good person, you have to give it all away, which is bullshit. Can we just like get rid of that forever and no one ever think that ever again? Because that's so gross.
Yeah. And to bounce off of Crystal, what you were saying with the money is the root of all evil, because that gets said a lot. And it's actually the love of money is the root of all evil. And so it's not money, and the love of money is the greed aspect of it, where it's, I'm doing things just to earn money, just to be rich, just to have things. And I think that's where a lot of the money mindset stuff can shift and change, is when you're working for a purpose. You have a vision in mind. You already have a set vision of the good that you want to do, how you want to contribute to your community. Then when you've gotten to that level and you know yourself at the core, you've done the self work, you're not getting money to get money anymore. Now you're getting money for money to do what you need it to do. It's not for me to have money. It's, I want freedom. I want to contribute. I want to set a legacy, and I want to feel a sense of security. Those things aren't greed. Those things are human needs that I need. So now I'm attaining money for the things that it does, not for money itself. And I think that's another shift of switching that from that evil to, you're not going after it for greed. When you really know what you want, it's not money you want. It's what money can provide for you.
Totally.
Money can provide you the ability to do evil shit if that's what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's like all, permission, whatever. That's your thing, right? If you want, that's what you want to do.
We see it with politics all the time. Money can do.
Here's the other thing is like, I think about the people that like get money or have a lot of money and do shady shit with it or whatever. And there's like this energy of like, why would they get a whole bunch of money? It's like, if I or you or all these other people are like willing to like channel it through and do like light filled things, like why are these people? But it's because it's all energy, right? And law of attraction, universe doesn't care if you're fucking like good or evil. It just says, I'm fulfilling your order. I'm your server. You're at a restaurant. What would you like? And maybe these people, obviously they are just more in tune with placing their order. Like, no, money is mine. And they don't guess it for that. You know what I mean? They're sure, they trust it. And I'm not just saying they, I mean, anybody, good or evil, or even if any of that exists, but like what it comes down to is, it's permission to receive if you just ask and trust that like you are that powerful to be in that vibrational match, and you are that loved. I mean, you really are that loved for it to come to you if you so desire it.
Yeah. That's a good point. Because as you brought that up, I was thinking the same. I was like, yeah. So then why is it that people that are doing bad stuff have a lot of money too? Or we can see that, but it makes sense. And that's why they tell you with manifestation that your words matter, your thoughts matter, because it doesn't differentiate between good or bad. It's just universe is taking your literal thoughts and saying, oh, here. It's like, if you're focusing on, I don't have enough, then the universe is like, cool, I'll keep giving you not enough, versus I have abundance. And the universe is like, oh, abundance is the word. Okay, here's your abundance.
Right. And there's some really yummy people that are like out there, like with all this stacked shit, right? They've got so much stacked like stuff around being able to allow that in. But then there's other people that are like doing shady shit and it's still landing in their account.
Trusting the process.
But they're trusting the process. Exactly.
I've seen it, and I'm just thinking of an example because I've seen also generations of families that live off disabilities that have no physical disabilities, and they've never worked a day in their life and make it through life, never having a job. And I look at them and I'm like, how in the hell how are you living through life with no job? I don't understand. But they're trusting the process and it's working for them. They're still getting to live their life and never have to work. So you're right. I mean, it works out sometimes if you just trust the process, even if you don't have the best of intentions. Live off the government my whole life. Okay, well, you sure did. It worked.
Wow.
So it does. That's a good point. It's trust.
And
it's hard when you're experiencing difficulties or those little struggling moments in life, then that's where the faith really needs to kick in. And that's when it's the hardest sometimes and you forget. And I think until you experience the faith working and the abundance coming in, it's even harder to really understand the concept. When I was first learning about law of attraction, I know for me it was such a struggle because it seemed like I should just have it really, really flowing in. And one thing that stood out to me, and when it didn't, then I would get just discouraged. And I'm like, I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it right. And I kept focusing on it's not happening. It's not happening. So that was working against me and not in my favor. And I remember an episode I watched of Oprah in one of her podcasts. She said something that stuck out, that she was doing a meditation, doing her gratitude in the morning, how she started her mornings. And she was writing in her journal all the things that she was grateful for. And she said, I've noticed a pattern that you can't get more until you're really, truly grateful for what God has already given you. And she said, I have to, it would start off small, but I'd be so grateful for the small increases I saw. And the more and more I was grateful for the small stuff, the more and more he just kept providing and throwing in my lap. The opportunities just kept showing up. And that like flipped a switch for me because I'm like, I want to go 0 to 60. I'm trying to be like, I want to go from here to millionaire status right now. Why is it not happening?
Gotcha. I'm with you, sister. Like, slow down.
Yeah, like, be grateful for the small increments. And the more you're truly, truly grateful and you recognize, the more stuff does just effortlessly show up.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think a part of that is really defining what wealth is as well. Like, what does wealth really mean to you? For you to be wealthy, what does that mean? Is that a certain dollar amount? Is there a certain level of freedom that you have? Are there certain things that you're surrounded by that you're able to enjoy? So really being able to narrow down specifically, like, when have I achieved what I consider wealthy? And I mean, we all are fucking wealthy. Not even to mention, like, talking about your grandparents or whoever that was raised in the Great Depression, like, we're fucking lucky as shit. Oh my God.
So much privilege lives.
Right.
So much privilege. Like, let's just be honest and real about that.
Yeah. I mean, my mom would tell me stories. They didn't get shoes during the summertime, so they went barefoot everywhere. They only had shoes for school year. And that was the only time they had a pair of shoes, and it was right before school started. And then into school, they were usually pretty tore up, and then they didn't wear anything all summer. They just went barefoot everywhere until.
Can you imagine how much grounding they got in, though? They were probably like pulling all the good energy just doing that.
Right.
If they'd known to be more like aware with it, for real. That's another thing with money. I think it's such a gift of parents that know to do this, is to teach kids the gift of a mission or visualization and just living purposely. That goes so hand in hand with building wealth, is knowing yourself for one, but then setting yourself on a mission and having that visualization of what you really, really want. Because unless you have a clear picture, you're really scattering around the world trying to figure it out till you do figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got someone say, oh, Laura. Hi, Laura.
Laura's with us.
When I get impatient with the universe, I remind myself that everything has a gestation period. If it comes early, it may
not be
complete. Ooh, that's interesting.
Very good thing to add.
Yeah.
A
Wow.
preemie baby that's not ready.
Ooh, that's interesting. If it comes early, it may not be complete.
Yeah, love that.
Interesting to know that.
That reflection.
So in magic, there's a practice in there, the 28 days of gratitude. There's a practice in there for money and being thankful for all the money that you received. And so one of them, there's a couple days on it, but one of them is taking all your bills for the month, which is so hard because everything is electronic now. So
Yeah.
when that happened, I actually switched to get mail, which sorry trees, but I don't know. Anyways, so you write as you're paying your bills, thank you, universe, God, whoever you want to thank, for providing me the money that I am using to pay this bill. And like just getting in the practice of being so thankful of the money that you're sending back out, I think, I don't know, it just changes your energy around it. And then the other practice was taking a bill and keeping it in your wallet and say, like, thank you for all the money that's being attracted to me every day in every way. And so you just keep that with you all the time. So I had this like $5 bill in my wallet that I took with me for years, like probably 3 or 4 years. And I was at this, I don't know what I was doing. I was outside with some magicians. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but there was this kid that was there. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing.
What are you talking about?
I was at some event and there was a bunch of magicians and like,
Oh, okay, you're at an event. Okay.
I don't know. So there was this kid that was there and he was like 18, fresh out of high school. And we just got to talking and he was like, I tried to tip him. He was like, oh, I really don't want your money. Like, this is my way of like serving everyone. Like, I appreciate it, but I really don't want your money. And so I was like, huh, that's really interesting. So I was like, I'm going to give you something that's more than money to me. And so hopefully it blesses your life. And so I took out my $5 bill that had like my thing written on it and I gave it to him and he like totally broke down. It was like, oh my God, like, he's like, I am like waiting for all the right money to come in. But it reminded me what Laura said. He was like, I'm waiting for my right time to get everything that I'm calling, or I forget his exact words, but I was like, oh my God. So thank you for
Lovely.
Money and timing.
Yeah.
Money and timing. That is a delicious, like, what is that, right? Because I felt that deeply in my life. Like moments where, like I just said, like those 6 months, I was like, whoa, what's going on? And it was like, it was a curiosity. I didn't even let it get that fucking phase me. There's like other times in my life that I've been like, where's the money? Like, this is stress. And this last time I was just like, I'm really curious about what this is. And I'm fine. Like, I know that it's all going to come back. And in that trusting process and inner game work, it was truly like this. I'm here and I trust, and like money is fucking everywhere. Like, I see it everywhere. It's coming to me all the time. But I didn't like get all fucking wrapped up about it in that moment. And I tripped out and I was like, okay, this is just the time that life's like asking me to kind of, or I'm asking me, or universe or God, whatever it is asking me, like, slow down. Like, this timing, because if I've got money, I'm moving fast. I'm like, fucking, I'm not stopping, right? That's like, so why certain times? That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So I'm curious, what happens after you become curious about it?
I'm in just like this noticing, like witnessing, observation. Like, oh, that's what so I really believe first that whatever I believe is like whatever, it's all loose and whatever anyway. That's what I really believe. But what I really believe is that having is evidence of wanting. And so if I was like, I even say it like I was losing all my money, but I think that's kind of like fun. Like there's a little bit of me that gets off on it, right? I'm like, ooh, I'm like the entrepreneur that lost all her money and then gained it all back. You know, like there's like a fucking story in it for me.
Oh,
And
my
so I was like,
Lord.
that fucking story a little bit. That's what I was noticing. But yeah, what I'm doing when I was getting curious was just noticing, what am I wanting here? Right? What am I wanting? What little crystal is trying to get my attention and saying, like, all right, I'm going to act out and make sure all this other shit happens on an unconscious level so that you can fucking learn, grow, and expand, or so that I can get what I need, like whatever she needed. And yeah, I feel like I just started to notice. That's what I did. Got curious, started to notice and hear what the actual desires were there.
Interesting.
I had a medium once that, and it's funny because I've read after the fact, after seeing her, one of the things they tell you to is not compare yourself to anyone else. So don't compare your insides to everyone's outsides. You can't judge off of what you see somebody else and think that you should be there, especially if it's your age, they're in a similar career. I should be at that same level. You don't really know what's going on with them, for one. But two, I saw a medium one time and we were talking about a career change that I was making. And I was just kind of wanting to make sure am I kind of taking the right path? And she said, that's not the right question that you need to be asking. She said, though I will tell you, I feel like you're going to do fine with what you're doing. But what I'm hearing most from you, what I'm like getting shouted at is you are on a different path in life than some of the people you're comparing yourself to right now. You're on a slower journey, but it's going to be a meaningful one. So I need you to stop rushing. You're not on the same path as them. And I was like, okay, I get it at the time. But then I reflected on everything she had to say later and was like, okay, there's probably something really deep to that. Because I do feel that rush often where it's like, oh, it ain't happening as quickly as I want it to right now. I should have this goal met and this goal and this goal. And so that still rings in my ears. Everyone's like, you're on a different path. My path is different. And maybe it's a little off the beaten path. And that's what I feel like is probably true for me anyways. Like on a little hidden dirt road somewhere that nobody else can find.
That's your divine path.
Yeah.
Right?
So
this
everyone
is your
does.
divine path. It's not off the path. This is your divinity here on the planet, what you came to do. It's your fucking divinity. It's your purpose. Yeah.
So timing's everything, and timing is different for everyone.
Yes.
For sure.
But with the Aries moon and an Aries sun here, I mean, it's fucking hard, right?
Dude, this moon is like
we got a Aries full moon tonight.
I know.
It's like now, I want it now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but the more I learn how to slow down and trust it and enjoy what I have, which is like appreciating, right? Appreciating like what we already have.
Right.
And enjoy what I have, the fucking privilege that I have in this life, the everything. I have so much. I have so much. I have so much. I am so much. It's like the more I sink into that, I just like look up. I open my eyes. I look up and I go, oh, and then there's that's coming in. And oh, then there's that's coming in. And I know it's all about like this journey to getting where I think I want to be, but it's really not about that. It's about taking the journey.
Right.
It's the journey that's the fucking fun part if you really sink into it.
It is. Yeah.
Destination money, though. Oh my God.
Destination. Do we want to go into our extended now? Because we are at time. We're past time.
Yeah, we are a little past.
Definitely.
So we kind of talked a little bit about it, but I was thinking just going over some other questions about really finding out your blueprint of money, what your background is with it, what your parents believed in it, what they their beliefs that they passed on to you and what their parents' beliefs passed on to them and everything like that. So I remember I was listening to something and I remember they said to ask your parent, or actually it was specifically your mom. I'm not sure why, but it was to ask your mother what she would have done differently financially.
Were you in a women's group at this time?
No.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
I'm never in a women's group.
This is true.
That's a recent thing.
I just want to, this has nothing to do with anything, but it's just a funny little thing. When we're going to see Oprah live, when me and Tessa goes, I'm pulling up to the parking lot and there's lines of people walking in to go see her. Like, of course, women. And Tessa's like, oh my God, this is going to be too much estrogen for me in one room.
Love it.
Back to your question.
So yeah, I'm not sure if I was specifically asking your mom, but yeah, you should definitely invite yourself to ask both your parents or whoever raised you or had the most impact on you growing up with money. And so it was really interesting. I asked my mom what she would have done differently. And I think we have answers that we can make up for our parents. Like, oh, they would say X, Y, Z, right? Mm-hmm. So when I asked my mom, she said that she wanted more. I'm trying to remember her exact words, but it came down to the gist of it. She knew that she was rich when she could buy whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted, whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted. And I was like, oh shit, there's my spending patterns. That's where it came from. And so it's crazy. That's not something that I would think my mom would say, but freedom to her, that's what it was. Ask your parents how they would have created their financial freedom differently. And so for her, it was, I would have had more, so I could have bought more whenever I wanted, wherever I wanted. So it's like, oh shit.
That's a really fun question.
Yeah, it is.
And it's crazy how much it relates directly back to us. Like, I didn't think, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 100% my spending patterns. So that's also really something interesting we could have done that I don't know, I didn't think of till just now. So in NLP, we have a decision-making process. And so you're able to uncover your decision-making process. And so you can use it specifically towards finances, how when you're going to purchase something or when you're going to save, whatever way it goes, there's an exact process that you go through your senses before you make that decision. So that's interesting. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that another time when we go more into the manifestation of money or something like that. But yeah. So
that'd be cool.
And then I think also one of the biggest things is getting real with yourself and asking yourself what you're scared of. Like for me, when I really sat down, I was like, I'm scared of losing it. Like I'm scared if I have it, I'll lose it, and then I'll like already have experienced it, and then it sucks at that point. So one of my mentors, Michael Stevenson, he was homeless when he was 19, and it wasn't because he didn't have a job. He just didn't feel that he was worthy of having a home. And so it's crazy seeing him now. And he's like, my threshold of fear of money is way, way, way lower than most people because I've already been homeless. Like when you ask people, what are you most scared of? I'm scared of being homeless. I'm scared of not having a roof over my head. I'm scared of not being able to put food in my mouth, right? And so once you experience that, like kind of kicks all that to the curb. It's like, been there, done that. Okay, go ahead. What's your next?
Still survived. So,
all right. I think Nathan and I go through a lot. Like, okay, what's the absolute worst that could happen? Break it down. Is it really that bad? Like, if we lost absolutely everything overnight, I don't want to say that. I was going to say, if the IRS shows up and then what? Do it all over again. You start over, right? And you find out the things that really matter to you and go from there.
Mm-hmm. And then you be like Crystal, and you have this magnificent story about the entrepreneurs that had it and lost it all and got it all back in.
You know, it's like
keep updated every day. I want to know all the details. My favorite story.
Have you heard of that? I don't know what his name is, but the nutritionist guy that is fat to fit to fat. No,
Mm-mm.
fit to fat to fit.
No.
So he's super fit. And so all of his clients were like, yeah, but you don't know what it's like to be fat. Like, you don't know what this journey is like. So he was like, fine, fuck you guys. So he stopped working out and gained a crap ton of weight in a short amount of time and got really like obese. And then was like, great, I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to walk through this together. And I'm going to get.
Wow, dude, that's freaking
Wow.
revolutionary. I love that.
Go him.
So with
Go
money,
him.
though, that's totally where my mind went. It's like from rich to poor to rich.
Right. Yeah.
Go him.
That's crazy. I mean, we hear the story often. You know what I think is funny that I realized about myself is when I'm making decisions, I go for a very medium ground. And so that's something that I still need to sit with and journal on, I think, is going from a mindset of I want nice things to prove that you don't have to start out with money to get somewhere in life. That's a big mission that I want. That no matter where you start in life, you can achieve what you want if you take the right steps and you're determined enough and you have the faith to do it. Though I'm fighting for that, and I still have this programming of part of my identity is intelligence and being responsible. And to me, purchasing name brand things is not responsible and it's not smart because you're buying a name and you're not buying the actual quality all the time. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes you're totally just buying a name. And so for me, like purses is a big thing. I don't want a big name brand purse because I feel like that's just a snobby, materialistic thing. Like this is in my head that I'm going to appear that way. And that's not responsible, smart spending. So for me, it's like I have this battle of I want nice things, but I don't want super nice things. So I got to stay somewhere in a middle ground. So I think that that's also kind of an interesting thing that as you pull through and you're working towards your mission, there's still these like things that will pull you back and like, wait, but.
So I'm curious with that, what would happen if you did enjoy the really nice thing and you didn't stay in the middle ground? What would that look like for you?
I don't know because my first step there is I got a Coach purse and I'm like still not like super. It's not a Louis, but it's Coach. And then I felt like crap after I bought it. So I was like, well, that was dumb. I wasted that money. I could have put that on something else. That could have been towards something that built something for my life. And so I'm like, well, that's stupid. And I don't know if it's because I'm thinking that's stupid, but I got a like really light peach colored one. Literally within 3 months, the leather is all like crap. And I'm like, see, this was a waste of money. Like I did it just for the brand, just to have it. And it's still crap and fell apart anyways. And I could have put that money towards something better used. Or some of my cheaper purses have lasted longer than this. So I just bought it for the name, not the actual quality. So then that was like one of those things, but it's like law of attraction too, where it's like I'm putting out that idea and it came right back at me. Like, see, this was dumb. It fell apart.
You know, it's so funny. I just thought of this when I was, let's see, Nathan and I were in our first house. I think we were like 22 or 23. I got this box delivered to my house, like literally probably 3 feet by 2 feet. It was a massive box and it came to my house and it didn't have a name on it, but it was my address, but there was absolutely no name on it. So we were like, what do we do with this? And so we opened it up and there was no receipt or anything inside. I still have no idea where this came from. I totally forgot about it till just now.
Oh, wow.
But inside of it was 11 Coach purses, brand new in the packaging, like not fake ones. They were like legit from Coach. And so it just showed up on my doorstep.
Wow.
And so for the longest time, we would like drink and have people over. I'm like, you get a Coach, you get a Coach.
The manifesting queen.
So
They just showed up at my door.
Literally, it's like a box of 11 Coaches. Just like, here I am.
That's nuts.
Wow, that is so funny.
It is.
So fun.
Only you, Tessa.
I know. Seriously.
Too funny.
Okay, well, let's do this because we have about 10 minutes left, and I think that's about how long this will take. So I absolutely love this exercise, and I think it's so cool because a lot of us are, we all are visual, right? We all have visual parts to us. And so I think this really allows your subconscious to remember without having to get your conscious mind involved. And so also I wanted to say with NLP, we also talk a lot about how your unconscious mind wants to serve you, right? It wants to grant all your desires and everything, make it come to fruition. And so a big part of that is also being specific. So if you tell your unconscious mind, I want to make more money, and you find a penny on the ground, it's like, cool, check, did it, like nailed that one. So getting really specific with exactly what you're wanting. So I think this practice really allows you to do that. And it's magic, so it's fucking cool. So what this is called sigil magic.
Sigil.
Sigil. I'm not sure how to spell that. So
Everyone
everyone have a pen and paper?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
So what I want you to do, and Laura, if you're still with us, I'd love it if you do it as well. So write one
Laura is
sentence.
watching. I just got a thing. It says Laura is watching.
Do it, Laura.
That too.
Yeah, so everyone that's live with us, grab a pen and paper. This is a pen. Grab a pen and paper. And I want you to just write down one sentence about some financial goal that you have. It can be something super far out in the future or something that you want to manifest, whatever. But yeah, just allow yourself to write one sentence down.
We're just starting, Laura. So just write one sentence of a financial goal down, or just know it in your head.
Just
Type
one
it into your
intentional
phone.
statement.
Oh my God. Feeling the intention in my body. Write it down and feel it in your body.
Right. Okay, so does everyone have your sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect. So from here, you're going to cross out all the vowels in your sentence.
Woo!
All the vowels in every word.
All the vowels. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about why? Because sometimes that's a vowel.
Darla's here.
Let's start with
Darla,
A-E-I-O-U.
Okay.
write down your financial goal. When? When is the financial goal? What's your next financial goal, right?
No.
Just anything
Just A.
that you want your unconscious mind to be focused on without you consciously thinking about it.
All right, Darla, next
Finances.
financial goal, write it down and cross out all the vowels.
So it can be, I want $1 million by December 31st, 2021. Putting that out there. Whatever it is, just write down any sentence. Don't overthink it. Just think of something that you want to happen financially. Give us a little bit there. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so once you have your sentence down and write it down, then go back through and cross out all the vowels. So hopefully everyone's caught up to this now. So once you cross out all the vowels, cross out any duplicate letters. So like
in the whole sentence,
Right.
the whole-
Not just back to back, right?
right, for the whole
not
sentence.
like in the same word in the whole sentence.
Right. So if you, I have,
Like 2 F's.
yeah. So
Okay.
only allow one of each letter for your whole sentence.
Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, that's out too.
Kristen.
R.
I know, she's cracking me up.
What?
Damn it.
I think Darla already got hers. MNY. That's what she got. Gotcha. Okay.
And then just double check it again. Like I'm looking again and I totally missed a couple letters.
Right,
Just make
totally.
sure you have it all out.
So many words. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, that too. Okay, so JPL.
Yep. And then exactly what Crystal's already doing. Go ahead underneath your sentence, write out all the remaining consonants that you have left.
Okay. If you write in cursive, it makes this harder. FYI.
Write in print. It'll be a lot easier.
Okay.
Laura said, I feel like I'm losing this game. Stay with it, girl.
Right.
Okay. I had numbers in mind.
That was not good. Oh, interesting.
I
You're
had
being
numbers in
specific.
mine as well, but I changed it. So I had 2022 and I changed it to next year. So if we can have written words, that'll
Or
be
you could write out the numbers.
yeah.
Okay. Or can I just cancel it out? Or go through the thing? Okay.
If you feel aligned to
Start
cancel.
over.
And hold, please.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna take a pause. It's gonna take longer than the 10 minutes we talked about. Okay. Okay, I can just actually boom because I already did. Oh no, I can't. That's the amount. Oh, Laura had a dollar sign in hers. Okay. Might have to spell dollars
Dollars, yeah.
or cancel it out. I put 2, so I crossed one. Totally. Both. Crossed both out.
You can keep it in there too. If you want the symbol in there, if you have a symbol or a letter, it might bring it more back to the conscious mind. So what you want it to be is something unconscious. And it'll make more sense, but it could be that a dollar sign would be like, oh, that's exactly what that means. Now I know.
Interesting.
So It's funny. I did this with my family and we have it all in our freezer. I don't know why it's in our freezer, but that's where it is. It made sense in the RV in our freezer. So every time we open our freezer, we see magic. Okay, so let's see. But I put 2, so I crossed one out. Perfect. So then from here, what you're gonna do is draw, which is really fun. So what you're gonna do is create some sort of symbol with all the remaining letters left. And what you want to try to do is make as many things stand for a letter as you can. So my intention was I will be debt free by the end of next year is what I made it, right? So this is how does this work? This is my little drawing.
Oh, fun.
So
okay.
I have my
all the letters.
I have my I and my W. I have my B and my D. I have my T, my F, my R. This is really hard to do. R. And then my X is in there. My Y is sideways in there. And then my N is also part of.
Yeah, you had a lot of leftover letters.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 10 letters.
Ooh, I got 5.
Nice.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're making a drawing of our letters.
Yes. So take the remaining letters and draw something out of this. So you want it to be where it's like this line, right? Oh God, this is hard to do. This is
backwards, right?
This is my I, my T, my B, my D, my L.
You know what that kind of looks like? I mean, definitely I'm seeing some balls.
I mean, I wasn't not
in the shaft.
Balls. And then just have fun with it. So the
Okay.
first time I did this, my intention was, it is my will that money now comes to me easily without effort or without harm to anyone. And so my remaining consonants was TSMYWLHNCFR. And this was my symbol that was created out of it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So you want to make it as, wait, the other way. See, we all got a little bit of balls. It actually,
I know.
That's your two?
A D and a
Oh
P
my
and an R and an M.
Wow. Okay. I don't want to look at
it
yours,
looks
so
like
yeah.
the ground and like it's growing out of it. Like your little
I know.
money
It's like also kind of looks like a little flower, a little plant growing. I'll take it. That's growth. That's what this growth. Because this is actually just my first financial go. It's not my forever one. So it makes sense. My flower didn't sprout yet. It's leaves.
Yeah.
Now you have your own financial logo.
You do. And then, so what the purpose of this is you keep it somewhere, wherever, your freezer, your refrigerator, your bathroom mirror, wherever it is, somewhere that you're going to continuously see it every single day. But it's just a cute little picture. If anyone else ever sees it, they don't know. But your unconscious mind now has that connection with your intention. And so every time it sees it, your unconscious mind is going to click that back on and start.
I love it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Crystal's busy. For those that are live with us and you have been doing this, when you get your little logo created, come back and put it in the comments. Snap a picture of it. Let us see what it looks like.
For sure. Let's see your magic. And the most important part is put it up. Make sure you put it up somewhere, because there's no point in doing it if you're not going to let your unconscious mind work on that for you. And don't we all want our unconscious mind constantly working on our dreams and desires?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Where's yours, Crystal? Let's see it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what. So first, I thought you were just like, draw a picture of what it feels like.
Okay.
And so I was like, hands. And then you told me to use, and I had to use the letters. So that's what came out.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So then we like make like even a more intricate one of this. Is that the instruction?
Yeah, you can keep playing with it. So like when I was doing it, like these are all my drawings, and then my final one was this.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I love it.
Cool.
So it's a little magic to carry on with you through your day. And just remember that it's energy. And so whatever you put into it is what you're going to get. And that doesn't translate to hard work. You put love into it, whatever energy, whatever essence you want to throw towards it. Just see your picture and know that it's working on it for you.
And because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah.
I don't know why those words do not register as a sentence in my head. I'm like, the fuck is happening right now?
Laura texted me hers. Ooh, Laura, you would, girl. Look at this.
Oh, let's see.
Laura's she's such an artist, like a beautiful, soulful artist. Hold on. Oh my God.
Well,
I want to see.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now you got to find the camera too.
I'm not gonna. And my fucking screen's cracked. This is not glamorous.
Yeah, we'll have to have it in the
There we
comments.
go.
Oh, I kind of see it.
Look at that.
Wow, that is very intricate.
I'm getting an intense glare. I can see, like, it looks awesome. Definitely post it in the comments so we can see it.
Yeah. Like, we got a hint of it.
This is a fucking castle, Laura. It looks like a castle. Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah.
What a talent.
So we leave you with a little bit of money magic. We hope it transforms your life because you deserve everything. So
yes. All right. Aloha.
Another week.
See you next week.
Full moon tonight. Let that Aries energy of the full moon.
No balls in her pic, she said.
No balls in my pic.
We all have balls in our picks.
No, I think I got both too.
All right, have a beautiful one.
Bye.